I like what he has to say here. We'll take a look at that.
So, Andrew Yang is pushing big tech to pay users for data.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't understand what he means by this, like, you know how, like, there's all these fucking, like, Facebook is harvesting your fucking data and selling it off to big advertisers. Andrew Yang thinks that people should be, like, directly paid. Like, if they're gonna do that, then they should be paying the users for their own data.
Yeah!
There are two ideas that Yang is pushing for. Number one is, like, these companies have to be upfront and transparent with, like, you know, they just can't, like, hide it in the TOS and be like, oh, by the way, we're collecting data. When you sign up, they have to, like, give you a pop-up or something where it's like, hey, we're going to be collecting your private data and selling it to these advertisers. So right off the bat, like, people are going to be more informed. They're still going to sign up for this shit. But, you know, at least there's, like, some honesty involved. Secondly, you're going to get, like, some money back for the data that they sell.
Yeah. I'm so sorry I didn't get on the Yang Gang bandwagon during the fucking primaries, dude.
People have tossed this idea around before, but we really do need, like, a digital Bill of Rights, and this would be perfect.
Oh yeah,
this would be perfect in a digital
start.
Bill of Rights.
It's a good start. It is.
Yeah, it's a start. Yep. And here's the thing, dude. One thing I really like about Yang is he's starting these new conversations. One thing I like about Bernie is that, like, he's been espousing ideas that, you know, people that are popular now, but he supported them when they were unpopular. But Yang is going around and starting new conversations.
That's what I love.
Which is something I can't.
Yeah, he actually did have a huge impact on the discussion regarding UBI.
Oh yeah.
Because initially most Democrats were against it, but now it's like 60% in favor.
Yep.
I think that UBI has a lot higher chance of becoming a thing than fucking universal health care, because it's not a polarized political issue yet. It could actually become like a partisan support like issue.
It had to do with Yang making different arguments for different people. Like when it came to somebody like Ben Shapiro, he would make the economic freedom argument, which is something that obviously is way more appealing to, like, conservative voters than, you know, like, okay, well, this is about equality. When Yang talked to, like, a bunch of, like, you know, yuppie liberal kids, hey, you know, this would actually help a lot of those communities that you guys are talking about, like the Black community, Hispanics.
Yep.
And even, like, you know, poorer white neighborhoods. It would just be something that offers every person, regardless of what they look like, a social or a financial safety net. I just want to mention too, like, something that else that he mentioned was Martin Luther King. MLK was actually in favor of a UBI. So Yang getting invited to speak to, like, an audience of Black people and you know, relatives of MLK, him bringing that up was a really fucking good move.
Another thing I really like about Andrew Yang is you could tell by his campaign slogan too, but he clearly fucking cares about, like, reaching over, like, the party line and trying to get all types of people invested in his campaign. Even Tucker Carlson liked him. That fucking dipshit liked Andrew Yang and some of the things that he had to say when he interviewed him. Yeah, so it just goes to show, like, that's how you win. Dude, that's how you fucking win. Is not by trying to divide people, but by trying to bring Americans together. I mean, because you know what America really needs during this time? Someone who's going to come and bring Americans together, someone who's going to, like, talk about the issues that we can all kind of agree on and actually get shit accomplished, instead of people on both sides of the political spectrum just pushing their pet issues nonstop on shit that's never going to fucking happen. Maybe we'll be able to have a better fucking dialogue, a more fucking honest and civil dialogue on some of these partisan issues if we can actually agree on some shit and get some shit accomplished together first. I think that's really
this is actually
important.
Something that the Democratic Party is attempting with, like, moderates and people on the far left.
But they're failing.
They're failing because they're not offering anything beyond, like, hey, you know, let's fucking cooperate even though we don't want to. It's not an effective strategy because you're not offering people anything that they want. You're essentially saying, yeah, you know, it sucks, but it could be worse. This is nothing that people can get passionate about. Hence, you know, Joe Biden's lackluster passion in his campaign. Yang actually reached across the aisle and, again, made arguments depending on, like, who he's talking to. And he actually has facts on his side, and it seems like he stands a way better chance at convincing, you know, Republican voters to switch party and vote for him. This is, like, if there's ever been a candidate the Democratic Party should look into and emulate, at least to some extent, it's Andrew fucking Yang.
Neither you or I think that Andrew Yang is fucking perfect. I mean, that's fucking very clear. And here's the thing, like, that's a huge fucking issue. Is there's so much fucking hero worship when it comes to politicians these days. Like, even fucking people, I mean, let's be honest, especially some fucking people who really like Bernie are so fucking obsessive about him to an extent where it's like people were being shit on fucking left-wing subreddits which were primarily pro Bernie, just because like they were going out there and like putting out Andrew Yang's ideas and telling people to like maybe consider voting for Yang. Like that's fucking bullshit.
I just want to say like something that I saw a lot of were posts where people were like, "Hey, I put up my Yang sign today," and then like some people canvassing for Bernie, like just kind of took it off my property, shit like that. I'm not saying this is something that like even 10% of Bernie bros do. I think it's like a very small minority. It's big enough of a problem that like you're kind of pushing people away by not acknowledging that.
I want to address that for a second, because look, I was a Bernie supporter that I didn't go around being like, how dare you be supporting Yang, but I did kind of understand that perspective, and I had the perspective of, look, I like Yang, I think he's cool, but I don't think he has a chance to win. So
apparently neither did Bernie think that he had a chance to win. He didn't even fight to the fucking end.
Sure.
Do you remember all those people who said that they were going to go fucking march in fucking Milwaukee?
Well,
remember all those fucking
but then COVID
all those
happened.
fucking influencers?
Dude, if it
convenient.
was a possibility, it was convenient. But it's not like the Bernie supporters caused that or had anything to do with it. Like, a lot of us probably would have gone and fucking marched if we could have.
My point is that like you need a positive message of unity behind any kind of campaign or social movement, and you're not going to succeed in that movement if you condemn people who vote for something else. I mean, like it's the same thing as when people push for Biden and they're like, well, if you don't vote for him, you're just a shitty fucking person.
Right.
Who's going to be convinced by that? Have you ever seen a single person, scratch their head and go, yeah, maybe I am a piece of shit. Maybe I should vote for Biden instead. It doesn't happen. You need positivity behind it. You need to incentivize people beyond, here's us shunning you. Here's us shaming you socially for doing something that we don't like. There has to be a reward to it.
Yeah, the more you try and shame people and make them feel bad for their fucking opinions, the less likely they're gonna ever be to, like, not even just, like, come over to your side, but even have a discussion with someone who has your type of ideas. Because just like I said, people always look at the most extreme fucking assholes on every single side of the political spectrum, and they say that's the people who they don't fucking like.
A lot of people got a little too excited about Bernie. A lot of people really felt like Bernie was actually going to change things. And I was on the side of like, look, let's get Bernie in. I like Yang. Let's have Yang in 2024 or some shit. Let's have Yang run. But right now, we need someone who can win and bring huge sweeping change like Bernie Sanders. And I'll be honest, I didn't realize the fact that Yang actually probably is a better candidate to bring people together, because it's true, he is a little less divisive, and he comes up with, there's the thing, he has new ideas, and I think that's what people like, because it's new ideas rather than just the same things they've heard over and over, and the people on the right, they've heard the right-wing talking heads say why this doesn't work.
One of the big things, at least, is that he's never called himself a socialist.
Yeah, he actually refutes the idea that UBI is a form of socialism.
Right.
There's a video on his channel. It might be gone now that he's no longer running, but he did respond to that common
UBI
point of contention.
UBI is capitalism. A UBI would actually be something that could help capitalism to function the way it should. Money goes into the pockets of regular people so that they can put it into the economy, rather than having the government putting money into the hands of companies that the government decides it likes or whatever. It should be true capitalism should be closer to a meritocracy, honestly, where it's like a company that actually does good gets good business because people buy that company's products or whatever.
You know what's funny? Because now the big companies want to know why they're the biggest companies, because they're the biggest companies. That's why they're the biggest companies. Because they've been the biggest companies for a long time. Nobody goes to Walmart because they love it, because they love the people there, or they love the fucking, the people who own it. No one has any attachment to these big fucking corporations. We all have to go use them. That's the only reason why we fucking use them to begin with.